Bukayo Saka running down the wing. Saka, star boy Saka is back. Scored within 10 minutes of his return. And sometimes you don't know what you've got until it's gone, people. And Saka, he showed us. Showed people like me. Listen, I've always thought he was a great player, but I think he's even better than I thought he was. And we've seen that since he's been injured. Arsenal win 2-1. Saka's return and goal, massive positive. Seeing him celebrate, the celebration, the smile, great moment. Best moment of the night for Arsenal fans and hopefully football fans in general. The one downside of the night, obviously, is Gabriel Magalhaes's injury, which is a massive loss for the Real Madrid game, which is in a week's time. Obviously, we're hoping for the best. Is it just a twinge in the muscle and no major damage and we get him back? But the way he was on the floor, he looked upset. I think you know as a player when you've done something, and he just had that worried look on his face. But all we can do is hope and wait. One thing is for certain, though, people, and forgive me for this. If Gabriel is not playing against Real Madrid, Jakub Kiwior cannot, I repeat, cannot be his replacement. Honestly, Jakub, you should get in your car and ring your agent and say thank you 50, 60 times to him. And when he's like, Jakub, why are you saying thank you? Say thank you because how you got a move to Arsenal Football Club and are picking up 60 grand a week, I will never know, mate. I will never know. Respectfully, I will never know. But anyway, let's not concentrate on Kiwior too much. I hope that guy's not in the starting lineup next week against Kylian Mbappe. Anyway, let's focus on the positives. Not only Saka's goal, we'll talk about that again, but Gabriel Martinelli's performance today. If you check his passport today, he is 100% Brazilian, favelas, Rio de Janeiro, Sao Paulo, R9, Romario. He's all of that, people. That was vintage Martinelli. That was the guy that Jurgen Klopp said could be generational, the guy that was in the Brazil squad, the guy that was scoring 15 goals 2 seasons ago. That is the assist of the season, if he meant it, which I think he did. I'll give him the credit. I've seen people online saying, oh, it was a shot that turned into a cross. I'm going to give him the credit for it. He cooked that right back tonight. He ripped him apart. That was vintage Martinelli. We've called him Perunelli at times this season. That was Martinelli from the favelas today, people. That was outstanding. The nutmeg, the amount of times he got past the defender, but it was the end product. Finally, the brother's lifting up his head and finding a pass rather than running like he's staring at the ground all the time. Brilliant performance. Now, we've got more difficult games coming up, and the key is consistency. We need to see Martinelli perform like that over a longer period of time. For me, he was man of the match today. Brilliant performance. He had one moment at the end where I think he could have passed to Saka again, but clearly he wanted the goal. He did score, actually, but it was disallowed for offside. I thought Martinelli was fantastic today, so massive, massive positive for him. Another big, big positive is Miles Lewis-Skelly. Honestly, I think people have to understand what is happening right now with him. Sometimes when a player's in a good vein of form or having a good season, you kind of just take it for granted a little bit. You're talking about an 18-year-old centre midfielder that isn't in the first team, that goes on tour, has a good tour at left back, gets in the Arsenal first team ahead of Tierney, ahead of Zinchenko, ahead of Calafiori, and then gets picked for England and scores, and he just hasn't looked back. He is so good on the ball. He's strong. He's confident. He carries the ball past people. Because he's a centre mid, he's used to having the ball. What a player he is. Nwaneri will always create more excitement because he's an attacking player. He's more flashy. He'll score goals. He's more skillful. But Lewis-Skelly, I'm telling you, he's got a bright future ahead of him, big time. Hopefully they both have at Arsenal, but Lewis-Skelly is some player. Timber, I thought, was very good again tonight. A few kicks. He went down twice. It looks like he's got cramp rather than any major injury. So hopefully, because we're going to need him available for next week against Real Madrid, moving forward. And yeah, just listen, looking through the team, I thought Marino, I actually like his goal. It was a very scrappy goal, but I think because when you're playing up front, you've got to score goals like that. You've got to shoot in those situations. You're not always going to score the perfect goal. Sometimes you get in the box, you hit it, deflects, and ends up in the bottom corner. And that's how you get goals. 5 goals in 8 games for Marino. Now, I wasn't happy with Marino in midfield as a signing. I think he's been underwhelming. Although some people say he hasn't had enough starts there, but what I was seeing in general, I didn't like. But fair play to him. He's done well up front considering he's not a striker. Now, will he be able to do something against Madrid and Rudiger and players of that caliber? Who knows? We know he's not the most mobile. He needs service. But I do have to give him credit. Some good hold-up play. You can see his confidence is growing. So fair play to Marino. You would sit there now and probably say Marino's been the most successful summer signing because Calafiori, who was getting the most credit, he's been injured too much. And defensively, he's looked very shaky at times. And Neto and Sterling. I mean, Sterling didn't even come on tonight, which... I don't know. I suppose the game was tight for large periods, but you would think he would have maybe got a little run out at the end. Odegaard, I mean, he played a nice through ball to Timber. Timber probably should have scored, hit it straight at Leno. Played a good through ball to Martinelli, who was offside. But I need more impact on the game from Odegaard. And some people will say, you're being too harsh on him. I expect a lot from him. You've played for Madrid. You're our captain. Do you know what I mean? You've been at a top level from a young age. We saw you 2 seasons ago, 15 goals. He had a couple chances tonight. One of them, I think it ended up in the River Thames. It was like a rugby conversion. I called him pillow foot. Now he's concrete foot. I don't know what's going on. We need way more from him. I've said for a long time, I think Odegaard's role needs to change a little bit. I think he gets the ball too deep to affect the opposition. He's getting the ball off the centre-back and playing like a deep-lying playmaker. I want Odegaard 10, 15 yards away from the striker, playing a through ball that can split the defence. I think he drops back too much. Now, maybe that's because of the midfield that we've got is not incredible on the ball and doesn't get higher up the pitch, so he's forced to drop deeper. I don't know. Maybe you drop Odegaard back and get a more attacking midfielder in the summer and let him play that role. Or if you push Odegaard forward, then you need somebody that can get on the ball a little bit deeper. Declan Rice, I thought, was a little bit quiet. I mean, a couple of times he won the ball back. He was industrious, but I still don't think he's perfect for that 8 role. What I think about of an 8, I still don't see it fully with him. I think he's a better 6. I know people say on the half turn, not incredible on the ball, but I think you saw last season in that 6 role, protect the back 4, start the attacks. I would rather see Rice there moving forward. But obviously we need to go into the window. Berta was at the game tonight. It's funny because when the camera zoomed in on him, he was about to yawn. I think that summed up the first half. It was a bit of a snore fest again. But we got the job done in the end. Marino got the goal and then Saka got his goal. Incredible assist by Martinelli. Crossed in by Marino. Martinelli went on a good run first. Marino crosses it in. Martinelli flicks it. Saka heads it in from 6-7 yards out. What a moment after nearly 3.5 months out injured. So hopefully that puts people's minds at rest a little bit. Although we will have a lot more physical game on Saturday away at Everton, which will be a tough game. And when you got Real Madrid midweek, I just hope that doesn't take too much energy away from us moving forward. So job done. Job done in the end. One thing I would say moving forward for Mikel Arteta is I would like to see him try 1 or 2 things. We're going to get top 4, but we're not going to win the league. Why not play Zinchenko in midfield? Why not play Nwaneri in that Martin Odegaard role? Why not play Martinelli up front and see what his pace is like? Can we try 1 or 2 different things and experiment a little bit and see what some of these guys have got in different roles in the team? Just quickly, and I know I shouldn't do this, but Manchester United, 13th in the league, beaten 1-0 tonight by Nottingham Forest, hometown club, flying. FA Cup semi-final and third in the league. Nuno, by the way, manager of the season so far for me. Alanga sold for 15 million, 28 goals and assists since leaving, more than any other Man United winger or striker since leaving the club. Just thought I'd finish on that, just for United fans. I'm sorry. Well, sorry, I'm not sorry. But listen, big up to everyone in the chat. Who was your man of the match? For me, Martinelli, but I thought Lewis Skelly was excellent. Timber did well. Partey had a decent game. Could Raya have saved the goal? Should Saliba have got closer on the goal? Something about that goal felt avoidable. I don't know what it was. It's unlucky, deflection. It was just a very soft goal to concede. But listen, great to see Saka back. Martinelli, man of the match for me. Let me know what you think in the comments. And I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless.